Well, welcome to the World Rugby Under-20s Championship 2018. We're down in Béziers at the Stade de la Méditerranée in the southern France region, which is 10 kilometres from the Mediterranean coast. And this beautiful city is one of three hosting the competition alongside Narbonne and Perpignan. There are 12 teams competing for the title, and they are divided across three pools of 4 teams. Today is the final round of pool matches, so let's have a look at how things stand. In Pool A, defending champions New Zealand are on top of the table. Wales just confirmed that they beat Japan by 18 points to 17. So New Zealand play Australia next. In Pool B, England top the table and are through to the semi-finals. And Italy, having just completed a famous victory over Argentina by 30 points to 26, sees them in second spot. Scotland without a win in this competition so far. Finally, in Pool C, South Africa top the table, and if South Africa deny France a losing bonus point, or if France don't score 4 tries, then Italy will qualify for the semi-final spots. Georgia, incidentally, with a win over Ireland by 24 points to 20. Well, the crowd beginning to build here at the Stade de la Méditerranée, here in Béziers for the pool match between England and Scotland. This is the World Rugby Under-20s Championship 2018 here in Béziers in the south of France. Well, England have just warmed up outside the stadium, and, well, they'll be fancied having won their opening 2 games, played 2, won 2. They've scored 159 points. They've only conceded 2 tries, 10 points, and will be looking to take the scalp of Scotland, who are without a win in this competition. Well, let's have a look at the team lineups. Steve Bates, the head coach of England, gives prop Kieran Knight, hooker Beck Cutting, and flanker Aaron Hinkley their first starts of the tournament. Elsewhere, Tom Hardwick is named at fly half, with Jordan Olofella starting at outside centre. James Grayson is at fullback, making up a back 3 with Ben Loader and Gabriel Ibitoya. In the pack, lock forward James Scott returns to partner Joel Kabuko, while prop Aaron Painter makes up the front row. The side will be captained by scrum half Ben White. Well, Craig Redpath, my apologies, ring the changes for Scotland, with just 3 players remaining for the starting 15 that lost to Argentina last Sunday. Ross Dunbar and Finlay Richardson packed down next to hooker and captain Robbie Smith. Guy Graham comes in at open side flanker alongside Marshall Syke, whilst number 8 James Miller makes his first appearance of the tournament. There's a fresh halfback pairing that sees Ross Thompson partnering Charlie Gowling, and in the back 3 Logan Trotter reverts to fullback. So there is the Scotland skipper to the left of your picture, Robbie Smith. And he'll be leading his team out alongside Ben White in the white of England. Well, alongside me in the commentary box is Sean Foley from the former Gloucester and RFC Academy, Ospreys, and latterly with Bristol. And Sean, we saw a brilliant previous match in this pool, Italy winning by 30 points to 26. Dry conditions, Scotland beat England in the Six Nations, but England looking hot in this championship.
Yeah, as a proud Scotsman, I'm sorry to say, Scott, that this is going to be a difficult night for Scotland. England are on fire at the moment. A lot of power and pace behind, but it's a proud Scotland side, and they'll want to build something for the next round. And they've got a young team with a lot of changes since that Six Nations. So it'll be an interesting encounter, but a difficult England team to contend with. They're on the set piece, and in particular, Olofella and Ibitoye.
Well, first we'll have the national anthems of England and also of Scotland.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save
of Scotland.
Days are past now, and in the past they must remain. For we can still rise now and be a nation again and stood against him. Proud Edward's army and sent him homeward to think again.
Let's go, boys! Well, plenty of emotions across the national anthems for both these teams. Let's have another look at the England lineup. Steve Bates, the head coach, gives prop Kieran Knight, hooker Beck Cutting, and flanker Aaron Hinkley their first starts of the tournament. Tom Harwick is named at fly half, with Jordan Oliver starting outside centre. James Grayson is at fullback, making up a back three with Ben Loader and Gabriel Ibatoya. In the pack, lock forward, James Scott returns to partner Joe Kapoko, while prop Aaron Painter makes up the front row. The side will be captained by scrummer Ben White. Well, Craig Redpath rings the changes for... Brian Redpath rings the changes for Scotland, with just 3 players remaining from the starting 15 that lost to Argentina last Sunday. Ross Dunbar and Finlay Richardson packed down next to hooker and captain Robbie Smith. Ewan Johnson and Charlie Jupp form a new look second row. Guy Graham comes in at open side flanker alongside Marshall Sykes, while number 8 James Miller makes his first appearance of the tournament. So there is Brian Redpath, and our referee in the middle is Damon Murphy. Steve Bates, the head coach, in the middle there of this England team. Alongside him, Anthony Allen, James Ponton and Richard Blaze, part of the big lineup. And Joel Kapoko, who's built at 196 centimetres and 126 kilograms, will add a punch in the England forward pack. Scotland nervous as they seek their first win in this tournament.
Just take it easy, yeah?
And England, well, they've been the dominant force in this group. They already have the luxury of knowing that they've qualified for the semi-finals of this tournament with only 2 games played. And the Scottish skipper, Robbie Smith, well, there's a lot of weight on his shoulders to ensure a victory against England.
Run the screens,
So Will in the middle, Tom Hardwick with the kickoff, and straight to Yaba Yaba, and Yaba. Oh, look at this step. Well, there was a little trip there on the winger. And Scotland, well, they've been given a great start and lead, and then into the driving play goes Guy Graham. Just signed a new contract with the Newcastle Falcons. And a big kick downfield by Scotland. And England thumping the ball back up over the halfway line, and a good start by James Grayson, whose father Paul, of course, had plenty of experience in an English jersey.
Yeah, good start from Scotland. They need to get into this game early and settle themselves. There'll be a bit of nerves, a lot of changes. Powerful England side despite their changes.
Charlie Gowling at scrum half. Gets the ball out. This is in the midfield. Patrick Anderson of the Melrose Club, the home of rugby sevens in the Scottish Borders, takes that ball up into the midfield. And then a drive through James Miller. Scotland through Jack. Looking to get over that halfway line, trying to get some forward momentum going. Charlie Gowling shaping for the box kick. Yawa on that far side will be the chasing wing, who's made such a bright start to the opening couple of minutes here for Scotland. He tackles Grayson at fullback.
A good start again from Scotland. Yawa, I mean, real interest in this game. Ball carry and a good chase there. We've already seen how aggressive England are in defence. Can Scotland do the same?
Aaron Hinkley up to that 22-metre line. Ben White just slowing things down, just checking where his fly half Tom Hardwick is. But he decides and gets the ball half charged down, having taken the kick himself. Super follow-up tackle came in from Ben Loader. Tremendous to make the error and force the error on Scotland.
It was a good charge on coming in, but they've got a lot of power in this outside channel. With Ben Loader at 11, Ibitoye at 14, and then Olawafeya Fella at 13. That's a lot of power there. And the kicking prowess of James Grayson at 15.
And a lot of experience as well. Sean Holly. For instruction from the captain, Ben White at scrum half. His 9th cap today at this level, under 20s.
Let's go, Rossi.
Part of the Leicester Tigers setup.
Bind!
Yeah, there's 4 Leicester Tigers players in this England 23.
The backs knuckle down. Pretty even there is number 8, Tom Wills. Yes,
use it now,
holds
please.
onto the ball. Scrum collapse, but the referee is asking for ball to be played. Tom Hardwick then. Kicks deep. This is Logan Trotter. Started the competition on the wing, has moved to fullback. Scotland. Guy Graham. Who had to pull out a short notice in the match against Argentina just prior to it. Thompson looked, he got the call on the outside, but the ball ricochets back off an England player. Cutting, getting one on the noggin. Finlay Richardson just drives ball on there. Richardson, the tight head for Scotland.
They're going to have to use some footwork, and they're going to have to run at weak shoulders, because this England line of defence is very solid already. And they forced the error from Scotland. England will be happy with that. They've shown a lot of endeavour, the young Scots, but England will look to control, contain, and pounce on any errors that Scotland makes.
Yeah, Steve Bates has this team well controlled. So the hooker, Beck cutting, the Worcester Warriors player. Good line out take. Hardwick has to reach a bit, and then Grayson attacks the line. And well, look at the pace here. Ibitoye in for the opening score. What a try! Ibitoye stayed proud on his feet. And Ibitoye with the early run down the flank opens England's account with the first try of the game.
Well, he made it look easy, didn't he? Off the top ball. It didn't look that straight from the line out. Lovely couple of passes coming in here, especially this one from James Grayson, the fullback, and Ibitoye does the rest. 2 fans, a lot of power and strength in his legs, and they just couldn't contain him. That's a great pass from fullback James Grayson. They've gone too high on him once, twice, and he had the power and momentum to get over. Great passing skills from the England backs, and Steve Bates will be happy that this man has had the ball in his hands this early in the game.
Yeah, well, he scored 5 in Georgia last year, 7 tries across his under-20s career so far. His 15th cap today for Ibitoye. And that was his 8th try. Tom Hardwick then converting from outside wide. Absolute pinpoint accuracy. And England couldn't have asked for a better start.
Great start. Fantastic kick from Tom Hardwick. Scored 2 conversions in the win against Argentina. But this man, Ibitoye, got a try against Italy. And 15 carries already in the tournament, and you can just see why.
Well, this could be a long day for Scotland if England were to continue to pressurise the Scots. But this man, Logan Trotter, will look to do something special as Ross Thompson now kicks downfield, and Grayson, well, he had that one superbly covered. Fuller running the fullback, but the tackle is good from Fraser Strachan, who followed up well on England's fullback.
I think they're going to need to consider their kicking game. They need to kick on their own terms, Scotland. This England back three plus Oliver Fella will be looking to run it back, Scott, and you don't want to give them too much possession.
Well, already the confidence coming through the hands with Ted Hill into the contact. England, that's the 10-yard line. White, scrum half to Hardwick. Hardwick seizes up the opportunity, but it's Logan Trotter who was positioned well. Trotter, though, back to Hardwick, who covered his own mistake by putting the ball into Trotter's hands. Scotland trying to put pressure on England here.
Yeah, they won that kicking battle. That's exactly what I just said about Tom Hardwick with a poor kick. Logan Trotter did really well, and they've really pressurised Hardwick, who was back covering his kick, rightly so. And what will Scotland do here? Do they have the early confidence to go for the corner? Do they want to stay in touch?
What?
Now, they haven't scored a lot of tries in the previous two games. But they've decided to go for the shot as we see a great follow-up tackle coming in. I think it was Charlie Jupp that made the follow-up tackle, and great support play coming in from 13, Patrick Anderson of Melrose, and a deserved penalty there.
Yes, maybe a bit hard to criticise Tom Hardwick, who'd previous clearance kick and landed into the midst of Logan Trotter, who returned the compliment, but the follow-up tackle was good, and Scotland with a penalty through this man here, Ross Thompson, Glasgow Hawks player, former Stuarts Melville head boy. Stuarts Melville, the club famous for Finlay Calder, the 1989 British and Irish Lions captain. Thompson, well, he struck that one pretty well, but the touch judge's flags stay down.
Yeah, it's a disappointing effort, really, because if you going for the shot there, you'd back your kicker to do it. It looked good until the last minute, a bit like my golf shots, actually, Scott. But
Time.
England will be happy that Scotland decided to go for the shot there. No real pressure on the England team.
Wait, mate. Hang on a second. Time back on, behind him, please.
Tom Hardwick, who played inside centre against Argentina, and was on the bench in the match against Italy. Yawa Yawa with the feed to Trotter. Trotter. Good tackle that came in there from the blindside flanker, Ted Hill. And Scotland just being met with a white brick wall at this moment in time.
Yeah, it's very physical defence from England. They're going to need to find those weak shoulders in that outside channel. Here's Yawa Yawa, and he's the one that can break the line.
Yawa Yawa, signing from the Leicester Tigers, and joined the Glasgow Warriors on their books. Oh, Grayson, magnificent take. He just gives himself so much time, doesn't he? But the error comes in.
First knock on by White.
Oliver Fella on the far side, knocking on, so it gives Scotland some territory from which to launch attack.
Yeah, good follow-up to the kick from Scotland. It's just a little bit too long again from Charlie Gowling. He needs to put that as a contestable kick. Beautifully taken in the air by James Grayson. Looked very composed in these early exchanges. A little off-road, that was a bit high for Oliver Fella to take, and Scotland a good chance to attack here.
Yeah, my apologies there, Sean. It was Ben Loader on that left wing, actually.
Closer to the microphone, please.
Oliver Fella, of course, he's played full back for this England under-20s team. He's also played in the wing and on the centre today. Jordan is in the centre, and on that left wing, Ben Loader.
Too much. Let's go, Ross.
So Charlie Gowling, sorry. He's got a good service, part of the Stade Francais setup. Here is the sharp scrum half, given his chance. Feeds the scrum. James Miller at 8 guides the ball backwards. Now Thompson, Yawa. Great overhead pass to the winger on this far side, Cal Rowe. Rowe makes good ground, so Scotland plenty of ball to attack through Guy Graham now for Scotland. Little look there from Fraser Strachan. Scotland stringing the phases of play together. Thompson to Anderson.
Leave it now, White, leave it. Back.
Oh,
Play
just
on.
sloppy at the breakdown, but Scotland have got the ball back through James Miller. And they notice the scrum half Gowling just calling his charges to get back in and recycle themselves.
Yeah, Ross Thompson as well, just a little bit lateral at the moment, Scott.
Not rolling.
And they've been contested in the breakdown, a speculative kicker, they had the advantage. But Thompson's got to really challenge the line, square up and hold this England defence, because they're very quick off the line, and referee Murphy has seen another indiscretion, so Scotland off the hook and they go for another shot.
Yeah, Robbie Smith, the captain, turned round to Ross Thompson. And, well, Thompson had a free ball to attack there, didn't he, Sean? And you know, when you got that and you put such an ineffective kick, it's an opportunity missed.
Sometimes with young outside halves at this level, you come up against an aggressive, quick defence for the very first time, and you tend to go lateral, and that puts your fellow ball carriers, support players, in a little bit of trouble. You've got to learn to come up for your outside foot a little bit, square up, and it makes your carries easier for these forwards. You can just see now,
time back on.
Are under pressure from an aggressive England defence, but in that instance, a little bit too overzealous, and another penalty chance for Ross Thompson.
Yep, sweet, mate.
So Ross Thompson, the left footer from the Glasgow Hawks club. His second penalty. Oh, we've got a pretty good view there, don't we? Thompson. Yeah, that one straight through the middle. The minute it came off his boot, it was good. The flags are up. Brian Redpath, the Scotland coach, applauds. Then Scotland have got themselves on the board.
Yeah, fair play to the young man off the back of missing one. He had no qualms in stepping up for that one. It was straight, but sometimes you're the most nervous over those ones, and Scotland deserved that score.
Yawa, plenty of running in the opening.
Leave it, White, leave it!
13 minutes in this game.
Falls there, mate, play it, please.
Referee Damien Murphy, in his Australian accent, asked Scotland to play the ball. Grayson comes up, times his jump well. Second row jump, and number 8 Miller are there to down the England full-back. That's the halfway line then. Swift service to Hardwick. Plenty of running on the outside channels here, but ball taken on in the midfield.
Advantage.
Boko.
Neck grab, close the back.
Well, a penalty against England.
So got a neck grab by 3 White over here. Penalty to blue.
Oh, nice and clear there, isn't it? Aaron Painter tackling around the neck area, and
so
we know that World Rugby and the referees are clamping down strongly in that area of the game.
Absolutely, Scott. They look very, very closely at anything around shoulder, neck height. And the referee's very quick there to pounce on that, Damon Murphy. A lot of these instances in this championship will be reviewed by World Rugby after the tournament, but Scotland doing well, chasing up their kicks very, very well, competing over the ball, and they're in this game.
Marks on me, White across,
Thompson
please.
with his left foot has given Scotland a line out just down towards a metre out from the England 22.
Time. Injury or a boot?
Robbie Smith, there he is, the ginger-haired captain from the Ayr Rugby Club. Also played for Newton Stewart. That's down, away down in the southwest corner, a real hotbed of rugby. And a little change of boots here for Joel Kapoko.
Good to see this Scotland side from all over the Scottish regions. Traditionally strong in the borders, but we've got a few Glasgow Hawks in there, a few players playing in France and 1 or 2 in England, so a good spread. And likewise in the England team, 5 from the London Irish Club in this squad tonight, 4 from Worcester, 3 from Gloucester, 2 from Saints and 2 from Watts.
Just at the breakdown. 3 wide.
It's pretty even at the start. Scotland getting across the gain line and making more meters, but they've had slightly more of the ball at the moment. And Brian Redpath will be happy with this start from his young charges.
Yes, but the difference between the side was just that wonderful individual try from Gabriel Ibitoya, who scored down the flank. There's England's fly half, Tom Hardwick.
It's big Joel Kapoku who's down in a ball carry. You see,
let's go, lads.
Tackle nice and low.
Time on.
And he winces there in the tackle. For a big man, he needs his pins in 100% order, doesn't he?
And he is 196 centimetres, 126 kilograms. Ooh. Now Scotland find Miller to the front of the line out.
That's one.
Finley Richardson wearing that number 3 jersey. He must be wary of the line as Gowling indicates to his prop forward they wanted the ball, but the knock on, and look straight away, Oliver Fella to Grayson, Ibitoya, but Grayson decides to put boot to ball, or ball to boot I should say. Back goes Carl Rowe. Rowe dots the ball back, and eventually it's the big second row. Charlie Jupp that was there first, wasn't he? There's Jupp wearing that number 5 jersey. Eventually Gowling gets into position. And Captain Robbie Smith. Now Scotland, what can they do with their... The term of the moment is exit strategy.
Yeah, England have got Scotland pinned in their own 22. It was a great follow-up from Jordan Olowofela from James Grayson's kick into the corner, and Scotland working hard to get out of this deep in their own territory.
Yeah, the box kick from Gowling. Grayson, who's had plenty of ball to counter-attack. Ben Loader, the left winger. Here's Loader. Going in to clear out ball is Ted Hill. England plenty of rhythm here now. They've got numbers over here. Oh, Hardwick surely had to give that ball. Eventually, Will Butler standing outside gets it. Thompson's back. Well, he didn't have the confidence to clear on his left foot. Oh, I don't know if he was held in the tackle there, but certainly referee Damon Murphy felt he had been.
Well, his outside backs won't be happy with him. Tom Hardwick there was clear 4 or 5 players on one defender. All he had to do was slip it through his hands, but decided to go on his own. A little bit of white line fever. They've got a second chance. So we look at it again. Was he held? It didn't look like he was. He'd slipped off. That's a harsh decision in my book.
I think as a player, you know instinctively if you're going to, if you've been let go, and I think Thompson felt he had been, but Murphy disagreed with it.
Time back on.
But England, well, they did butcher a chance there, and Sean Hollier, knowing that you love your coaching, that's one for the video analysis. That'll be reviewed and worked on. And this is where the World Rugby Under-20s Championship comes of age, because players learn their skills, they learn their craft, they learn to deal with pressure.
Absolutely, the guys outside them should have been calling for it. He just needs to slip that on, but they have a second chance.
Great line-out take at the front by James Scott. He's back in the team, recalled to the starting lineup. Scotland try and go in to disrupt this England drive. It's a separate pod that's come off here. England 2 yards short, 1 yard short. They're over the line. It is a score, and sheer delight for Ewan Johnson. My apologies. It was, I think it's James Scott got in there. Thumbs are up.
Well, we couldn't really see exactly because it was such a good maul. It was Beck cutting, I think, in the end. Ewan Johnson, the Scotland forward, done so well. But Beck cutting had stayed patient in there.
Yeah, I was cutting over. My apologies. The hooker, head down.
They were so patient with the maul there, England. Ewan Johnson, the Scottish second row, had done so well, but cutting on the ball at the back of the maul. Tom Willis along with him there, the number 8, working hard to buffer.
Thanks, mate.
The response of Ewan Johnson, but it was that hooker from Worcester Warriors, Beck Cutting, who got over.
Well, Hardwick just pulls that kick. And it was a lovely, well-worked try, wasn't it, by England?
Yeah, look at the work there from Tom Willis, the number 8. Don't underestimate that. Ben White signals to his family and friends. Sorry, Beck Cutting signals to his family and friends in the stand, but that's quite a harsh score. It's a double whammy in Scotland. We felt it was a harsh penalty on young Ross Thompson, but England have taken full advantage of it.
Well, Scotland have kicked it out long. So a mistake here by the Scots, and look at them having to trap back all the way to the halfway line, and well, England will have a put in.
Well, it's a killer for the Scotland forwards. They've just had to defend the maul resolutely. They conceded the try, now they're back on their own halfway line. This is the little errors that will creep in that England will pounce on. Scotland have to be as squeaky clean as they can.
Second!
Crouch!
Down! Yeah, ready? Sink!
Bind!
Ready! Yeah, let's go.
Set!
Stand! Ah, no!
Ben White, Leicester Tigers captain, and a dominant scrum there from England.
Blue not pushing straight.
No advantage accrued.
What's that?
And England with 20 minutes
Yeah, that's right.
on the clock.
Yeah.
12 points to 3 up against Scotland.
Yeah, they just found the pace of the game, England. They turned this turn, the screw and the set piece, just driven Scotland over from a 5-metre maul. The scrum has just got on top. Big scrum coming in from Kieran Knight on the loose head there from the Gloucester club. You can see the pressure he's putting on Finlay Richardson. And now they kick to the corner and build again.
Yeah, that's all good. That's beautiful.
Well, this man, Beck Cutting's really caught the eye. He's represented England at all age group levels. Gets his chance tonight, first start in the championship now. Grayson, we've seen him offload to Ibitoya. Logan Trotter tries to go in for the tackle, eventually brought down by Patrick Anderson. England on the attack through Hardwick. He delivers out to Hill. The tension is good. Beck gets the offload there to Kieran Knight, his front row colleague. And there's numbers over here. Scotland are in difficulty out wide. Coming back is James Scott. Scott fights over the line. And try for James Scott of England. It's the third.
Well, there's a couple of lovely little bits of skill from England there. It was a great build-up. There's the first one, the out-the-back offload from Grayson to Ipatoy. And then just look at this little hold-up. He does it instantly, does the second row, James Scott. He has the wherewithal to know where the try line is. He's brought to ground.
What's that?
Just watch him here. He's dragged the ground by Yawa, but he does it instantaneously. Gets over the line, and referee Damon Murphy rightly awards the try as he immediately makes that movement in the act of scoring. That's a lovely try. Some nice build-up play. Beck Cutting with a little pop pass to his front row partner, Kieran Knight. And 3 tries already, Scott.
Well, Sam Lewis was sent off in the match against Italy, and it's allowed James Scott to come into the team. He's taken his chance. He scored the try, and Hardwick from out wide misses the conversion. But England looking dangerous every time. And Scotland's task to seek a win over England is looking very, very difficult.
There's that lovely tip ball from Beck Cutting. It just got across the gain line, Kieran Knight, and then it was all on for Hardwick. And he still had a lot to do, James Scott.
Let's go, use it now, please.
England then, time with Ben White to clear through the box kick. Logan Trotter, at full-back, takes the contact. Toya
Leave it, White!
putting pressure on this Scotland team. England
Backwards!
once again on Guy Graham. Thompson goes back into the pocket, but this one's going to be covered. Hardwick in his 22, he'll just take time.
Inside, boys.
Let the ball come back into the 22. And he's found an excellent touch once again.
It was a great kick. There was a bit of miscommunication between Hardwick and Ibitoy, who was going to catch the ball. They let it bounce. Unfortunately, Hardwick let it get into the 22, so he cleared his lines. But it's all to do for Scotland at the moment. England in complete control.
Step across.
So here's Robbie Smith, the captain. Stafford McDowell, who captained Scotland in their opening 2 losses to Italy and Argentina. He's on the bench tonight. Good hands from Scotland, looking to bring Carl Rowe into the action. Gowling at scrum half. Miller up and over the 10-yard line. Now Scotland building the phases through Marshall Sykes. Thompson steps back, threads one down to England's 22. Gets the bounce, but it's Grayson who's covered the ball well. Thompson picks up the contact. A loud blast on the referee's whistle, Damien Murphy. It was just a flailing arm above the shoulders.
Boy, step away from me. Step away.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, this one. It's one of those ones, it's a flailing arm. You need to sink your knees at high pace and take your legs, it's too high.
Are you comfortable having a look?
Yeah, for me, the arm is under the shoulder.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, we'll have a look.
Yeah.
Felipe, have you got me there, please?
So we're just going to have a look.
Just want to check high tackle. Have a look at contact point for me, please.
Timo Philippe.
Yes.
Bonio.
I tackle and contact with the forearm.
Yeah.
So just looking at the contact, whether it's actually impacted the head or the neck or the chest, the shoulder area.
Yeah.
And when you're at high speed like this, it's a natural reaction to hold your arm out. As he's running at pace, changes direction, bang. It's a seatbelt for me, it's a yellow. No contact with the head, he's used his arm.
Step back, just let me have a look and I'll have a chat to this boy. Step back.
James Grayson, who's
Those are all the angles,
played very well.
Damon.
Yeah.
I think we'll be facing a yellow card here. Let's listen in.
I'm seeing contact.
Yes.
Back and neck. There's a fair bit of force.
Yeah.
Thinking a yellow card.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Felipe, can you put that one more time so I get the number?
Number 15, Damon.
15 White, okay. 15 White, captain. It's a dangerous tackle with a fair amount of force. Contact with the neck, it's a yellow card.
With the what? With the neck? Is it not across the chest?
Yeah, Sean, we were having a chat on the previous game when blindside flanker Bianchi got a yellow card, and we felt on that moment in that game that it was a red card. In actual fact, a yellow card was given just because it made contact with the jaw and the head, and the difference there was potentially just over the top of the shoulder.
Yeah, any use of the arm, Bianchi did use his shoulder really, didn't he, with force. That's a natural reaction. There's no malice in it, but it is a yellow card. You know, I don't think you can question that in the modern game.
Well, it's a zero-tolerance approach from World Rugby.
White.
So fullback
White,
James
cross for me,
Grayson.
please. The mark is on.
10 minutes
Thank
in the
you.
naughty boys chair now. Scotland, can they respond? Can they get themselves back in touch with this England team? Miller at the front of the line out. He's supported on the drive play by Guy Graham and Finlay Richardson. He sets off wearing the number 3 jersey. That's good from Scotland. Steve Laurie, the Scotland forwards coach, will be pleased with the work, and breaking away is Ross Dunbar. Gets the offload to Miller, but a great covering tackle came in there from Ted Hill to deny Scotland.
Well, that's a great cover tackle coming in. A man down, and good tactics from Scotland. The thing is, when you splinter like that, the rest of your pack needs to get there pretty quick, but Ibitoye with Ted Hill, a double tackle into touch, and Scotland have got to be clever now. Brian Redpath will be getting messages on. They've lost their full-back, England. There will be space in the backfield. They need to move these forwards around and find where the space is.
Beck Cutting, the former Bath University player,
Time off.
wearing that distinctive headguard. Try scorer.
Both of you, we discussed in the sheds, you're responsible for the gap, okay? No more gap issues, otherwise I'll short arm. Understand?
Yeah.
Perfect. There's a mark, half a metre, half a metre.
Yeah, take a shot.
Well, Cutting then delivering the ball to the line out. James Scott.
Out.
Scotland doing well to try and dismantle this line out pressure from and line out drive from England. Ball's at the back then.
Jordan!
Hardwick. Waiting in position, Ben White. This is the White's just going to take the kick himself. He does. Finds a good touch. Just up and over the 22, so good play there from England's captain, Ben White.
Yeah, two excellent bits of tactical play. You'll see the England players stacking behind one another so that it is very difficult for Scotland to charge down the box kick. It extends the ruck, and then the important follow-up from Ibitoy and centre Will Butler to stop the quick throw-in. Great play.
Smith, Scotland's captain, with the line-out throw. Pretty accurate, taken well there.
That's one.
Ian Johnson right in the thick of things for Scotland in the second row, having leapt high for that ball. Gowling, hands on the ball. He's going to feed Thompson. Just waiting, but Scotland's driving play has been good.
Out, four out.
Charlie Jupp in the second row, but coming through was Beck Cutting. Then he's pinch ball Cutting. Tremendous turnover. Ibitoy just opts to put one downfield. Carl Rowe then. Feeds Trotter, gets the call for Rowe. Yawa. Little cut-in play by Anderson. Tackles good. Loader makes a nuisance of himself.
It's more like it from Scotland. As much as the driving play was very, very good, it's not really affecting the yellow card, and good coverage coming in from Olawafela. They're down a full-back. For all their good driving, it's not exposing where England are weak at the moment.
Yeah, Scotland really trying to tease and find an area of weakness within this England team, and certainly their driving playoff line-out has caused England a bit of trouble.
On me.
Yeah, there's 5 minutes left on the clock. England won't be in too much of a hurry.
Blue.
Scotland just deciding what they're going to do from this line-out. They've driven the last two line-outs with a bit of success.
Let's set the line, please. Mark's there.
Head God. To head God. One.
Throw then finds Jupp in the second row. Gowling did well, didn't he, to just go down on the ball to tidy up the tap down from the Scottish second row.
A lot of the action areas for Scotland have been in the middle third of the field, and England's defence has been good in this area.
Leave it now.
Beck is over the top of the ball now. Oh, there was a tip there from James Miller.
You're fine. White's got to roll away first, though.
Referee might have missed that one.
Must
He
roll
was
away.
right there. You can't lift the legs above the horizontal, but here's a chance for Scotland. They're not in any hurry, that's for sure. The last two line-outs, they need to make use of this extra man advantage.
So the Glasgow University student Ross Thompson has played for Scotland under 16s and under 18s. Yes, Thompson. His uncle played rugby league for Scotland, and his grandfather played cricket for Scotland, so it runs in the genes. Smith then, interesting to see what Scotland do there. They've profited well from their line-out driving play. And once again, it's Jupp with the head guard who leaps high. Ball's at the back there, Dowling. That scrum half, but again, good yards being made by Scotland. Kirshen is good from Strachan. Miller, oh, he gets the hospital pass, and Thompson has to go back down. Then he runs into the side of Joe Kapoko.
Leave it wide!
Oh, England were quick up there, weren't they?
Yeah, it's just testing the skills of the Scotland players. They're so quick off the line. They're contesting at the tackle, just slowing it up a little bit and then coming off the line very fast. The passes have to be pinpoint.
Yeah, Robbie Smith just questioning the referee there, Damon Murphy, asking if the England players were offside.
We'll see again, sometimes it looks like they're offside, but...
Well, that actually, wasn't it? Injury to Aaron Pinter.
Well, we've seen a fair bit of Scotland possession. A lot of it has been a little bit too far out, and they haven't had the cutting edge. England, well, they've taken their chances when they've got into Scottish territory.
Well, Sean, you and I were discussing before the start of this game that Scotland had a win in the Six Nations against England by 24 points to 18 in Marside in Edinburgh. But it's all just slightly changed in terms of the dynamics. You know, a cold winter's night in Scotland, south of France, dry conditions, and the opportunity for these young England players to play with real dynamism under the coaching of Steve Bates.
And a lot of changes to that Scotland side that played England back in the Six Nations, transformed in this starting 15, so Brian Redpath exposing a lot of players in this championship.
Crouch!
Yeah, only 6 players on either side who started in that game.
Set!
The ball into Ben White. Back.
Let's go, use it now, please.
It's Tom Willis.
Use it. Use the ball.
At number 8, Willis picks up. He's got White outside. Good tackle comes in from Thompson. Drives the England man back. Look, he's still in control. He's still communicating. Give it tight.
No, all good.
The Poco's on the outside, and the pod leading that pod of 3 is
Inside or outside?
James Scott goes over wearing that blue scrum cap. And then Ben White recycles himself, sets again, and decides on this occasion to feed his halfback partner now. Setting off here is Loader, Ben Loader, on this left-hand channel, I should say. Hardwick. Good driving play by Willis. White, Hardwick, England in control. Looking to squeeze some space down the flank through Ted Hill. Libertoy goes into clear. Very settled and secure play as Oliver Fella has a little step and escapes the clutches of Scotland in the defensive chores. And then Hardwick just threads one down towards the 22, and well, here's James Grayson looking to enter the fray again with 30-odd seconds remaining on his clock. Good play from England, Sean.
Yeah, a couple of lovely interventions from Jordan Oliver Fella. He's looked a class act, and that's the difference between the two sides at the moment. To get into the hands of Ibitoye, Oliver Fella, and Ben Loader, they make yards, they ask questions of the defence, and then Hardwick drills it on through for the territory.
Yeah, many of these players have got experience in the Premiership, and well, Jordan Oliver Fella, I was commentating on his twin Ryan, who was playing for the England Sevens team at Twickenham last weekend. Gowling at scrum half for Scotland, delivers the pass. Johnson. But look at the tackles. Scotland really struggling to get over that gain line. England are solid in the defensive chores.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's a workmanlike performance from England at the moment.
Gowling puts some height, but A great take,
Contest,
spilt by Ben Loader now. Opportunity for Guy Graham to barrel his way down that far side. And Scotland, well, there was the kick pass is the option, but Obitoy read that brilliantly. The tackle comes in from Rowe. And Scotland, well, I felt if they put the ball through the hand, they may have had a chance, but England with possession. Looking to finish this first half strongly. They've already got 3 tries on the board.
Oh, Ibitoy did so well, didn't he? The crossfield kick, he made the ground, stood his ground.
What's that? Take out by White, so penalty. One White taking a play off the ball.
Well, this is an assistant referee call, taking the man out.
One White taking a player past the ball.
There he goes. Kieran Knight has been pulled up by the assistant referee. As we see Ben White, the injured scrum half captain.
Time.
So James Grayson is back on, but here's this #1 prop forward, Kieran Knight, who goes in.
He'll argue he's just clearing out of the tackle.
Adrian Ibitoy just getting some treatment here now. After his warm-up, he came in. He does have a fairly heavy strapping on his shoulder, but I think it was the left shoulder he had the strapping on, not the right. But the right, he was getting the treatment there. So
taking him out of play. So one White.
Oh, he's a solid-looking specimen, isn't he? Gabriel Ibitoy is one we're going to see a lot more of in the future.
So 3 minutes left on the clock. The left-footed kick down towards the 22.
There we see him. He's had a big impact. Already scored a try. Scored one against Italy from the Harlequins club.
Scotland's captain Robbie Smith throws, finds jump in the middle. Now we know that Scotland have been good on their driving play.
Out, four out, 5 out.
Hard yard's been made. Dowling at #9.
Advantage, 2 collapsing.
Operating. Advantage being played, so it's a strike ball for Scotland, but a loud blast of the whistle. Quickly taken by Gowling now. Was that the right thing to do with a couple of minutes left on the clock? Should have Scotland gone for the set piece and line out? They're attacking though. They've got forward momentum here now. Richardson, he drives to the line. There's the try line there. Another penalty coming. Smith has to dip for that one. Gowling, once again, that scrum half delivers the ball to Johnson. Johnson bundled back as the defence and tackles come in for England. Gowling though to Thompson, the little kick through. Now there's space here. Try for Scotland! And a try by Carl Rowe. That will give Scotland confidence.
What a great score that was. Brilliant finish. Young Ross Thompson picked his head up, saw England were flat. Their line speed has been very, very big in that first half. But the patience, the advantage, is a little shot to nothing. But look at this kick. If he puts this too close to Ibitoy, Ibitoy gets it. It's perfectly weighted. And it's Kyle Rowe that wins the chase for a deserved score for Scotland. They battled hard in this first half. Haven't had a lot to sing about, but that's a great score right on half-time.
Thanks, mate.
So Ross Thompson, can he convert the score of Carl Rowe? England with 3 tries and 1 conversion to Scotland's single try by Carl Rowe. Ross Thompson with the penalty. Can he add the conversion to get Scotland within 1 score of England? Thompson, he's nailed that one. Well, another look at the trial, and it's Scotland who've ended this half with a try. The half-time score confirmation. England 17, Scotland 10. More to come on the second half.
Les résultats de l'état bilan de cet accroché face à la 17 pour la Nouvelle-Zélande. L'Afrique du Sud a pris 7 points, Afrique du Sud 17, France 36, et ici, Angleterre 17, l'Écosse 10. Allez, c'est la victoire sur le temps quelques instants pour les Adas.
On est vite un peu perdu sans mobile. Orange vous prête un mobile en 24 heures en cas de casse, de perte ou de vol. Orange.
Yeah, very soft on the foot. Just a 3, mate. Thanks, mate.
I got hooker! Ready?
Go! Six out. That's one, White.
Come, Swan, choose it. Here we go. Use it, there we go. Get with him, Naya. Get with him. Go, Wait, too late on that still.
Thanks, mate. That's all good. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm staying. Push. Look up! Yeah, go! Stop!
Leave it now.
Go!
Who's ever look at the no corner at the drop?
What's that? You something? Oh, okay, yeah, sweet. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. With a fair amount of force, contact with the net, it's a yellow card.
With the what? With the net?
Contact
Is it not across the chest? Push! 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 Ball! Ball! Ball, Ewan! Ball! Yourself out, I'm out!
Can you get 9 white for me? 9 white? Yeah, 9 white. 9.
She's not moved.
Just be careful accuracy down here for me, please. Be more accurate down here for me, please.
Just one thing though. Was that actually tackle pass or was that just...
Yeah, it was tackle pass, clear as day.
And also, could you take the net?
Yeah.
Territoire, on va se mesurer à l'Afrique du Sud et au Fidji, ça sera au Stade de France, et également à l'Argentine, à Lille, au Stade Pierre-Mauroy. La billetterie est ouverte pour les fans de rugby. Alors n'hésitez pas à rejoindre le site internet officiel de la Fédération française de rugby pour soutenir le 15 de France à l'occasion de la tournée d'automne. Alors, nous sommes au cœur de la troisième journée. On en a bien profité, on en a pris plein la vue à l'occasion de la deuxième journée qui s'est déroulée dimanche dernier. Donc résumé en images les plus beaux essais également, des images du match entre l'équipe de France et la Géorgie.
Score sheet immediately. There's a miracle pass! Oh, magnifique! Leopoldo Herrera gets his first score of the tournament. Salomon gets rid of a couple of corners. Marcus Smith puts his foot to the floor. He's won the same Similani. He's going to finish with a hat-trick.
So welcome back to the World Rugby Under-20 Championship at the Stade de la Méditerranée in Béziers. We're in the south of France. And the teams playing are England and Scotland, old rivals, and England lead the match by 17 points to 10. And there's Italy, who had a magnificent win earlier on today over Argentina. So changes in the England team. Joe Hayes and Gabriel Ogre is on for try scorer Beck Cutting. So an entertaining first half with Scotland getting a try right on the half-time whistle through Carl Rowe, just to bring them back within one score of this very impressive England team. And Jordan Olivefella takes the kick-off. And the captain of England, Ben White, throws the ball wide to Grayson. Grayson then loops round. Well, a high tackle perhaps by Yawa Yawa on left wing Ben Loader. Confirmation that he's an Ogre on for Cutting and Painter.
Looks like England have come out all guns blazing. Steve Bates probably not happy conceding that try late in the first half, sorry, and they're going for it already in the second half.
Oh, real intent there, but the ball knocked on by Gabriel Ogre. But you're right, there was a attacking intent there, Sean, right from the kickoff.
Well, when you have the likes of Ibitoye and Ben Loader on the left wing, James Grayson and Olowofela, you need to use them. But a good tackle coming in there from Scotland 6, Marshall Sykes.
Yeah, I mean, been a wee bit harsh on Ogre. It was maybe the knock-on from Kapoko in the second row.
Look great.
England's twin pines there in wearing the scrum cap. There's Steve Bates, the head coach, former England rugby player, director of sport at Fetty School before he took up his position back in with the RFU.
Time back on.
Spent a bit of coaching time in Scotland as well.
At the Bodymoor Rugby Club and also at Fetty's, which is where the former president, the Labour president, Tony Blair, was educated.
I think he did the Borders as well.
He did.
Border Reavers.
And Brian Redpath, the Scotland coach, former Scotland international, also lots of experience at Sale and also with Yorkshire Carnegie. So Scotland looking to get their second half underway with this put into the scrum. Charlie Gowling feeds the scrum. Now he's with the Stade Francais club. He used to go on holiday to this part of the world, to Toulouse, and just love French rugby. So do you know what he did, Sean? No. He sent his videos across all the clubs. He had a number of trials, and it was Stade Francais that picked him up. He was so passionate about French rugby. He'd seen Byron Kelleher come to Toulouse and play scrum half. He loved his idol, the New Zealand and former New Zealand All Black, playing at Toulouse, and this young man took the decision to come over and ply his trade in France. So and he's played well today.
He's played very well. He's looked sharp, and you know, it's good to see a young man with that sort of courage of his conviction to go and do that. And he instigated that try at the end of the first half with a quick tap penalty, and they're back in it now.
Let's go, use it, please.
England trying to put pressure on the scrum. It did fall, but they used it. Oh, and pass to Trotter. Tackle was good from England's Ben Loader. Scotland just a bit ragged there, and losing the ball is Patrick Anderson, and look at the way England will pounce through. Olowofela stays big. Oh, he just gracefully goes across the ground here in Béziers. Men over here, England surely, what a fantastic pass. Oh, Loader! Well, it was Hinckley, Aaron Hinckley, who just put the ball into the ground, but you felt that England were going to score their bonus point try, and it was absolutely butchered.
Well, it was butchered. That's exactly the right word. He's thrown it at his feet. Poor Ben Loader. Would have been a relatively easy run in. What a run again from this young man. Olowofela They're one of the best players on the field. Scotland have really struggled with that line speed. The turnover ball, great pass out the back from Joel Kapuku. And that's just, you will not want to see that in the video review, that's for sure.
Well, James Grayson had created the opportunity out wide. And Hinckley, well, he won't enjoy watching that one again.
It's not the first time we've seen great long passing skills from Grayson, much like his dad, Paul. The former Northampton Saints out at half, and really England should have done better there.
Yeah, young James Grayson at fullback, he's played really well. Miller feeds the ball to Strachan, and what about that for a tackle that comes in, thumping tackle made by Tom Hardwick. He read that one well, didn't he? England's fly half. England making it life difficult for Scotland at the base there.
White missed!
Yeah, Scotland really struggled with this line speed, haven't they? England really identifying the long pass and getting off the line.
Sykes with the pick and goal gives Scotland's Gowling an opportunity to clear the lines here for Scotland. Gowling off his right peg. Loder's got this one covered. He might throw one in quickly. Yawa was up quickly, Scotland's right wing.
Yeah, he needed to be. Loder was really looking to go quickly there. The England backs had retreated, ready for a quick line out. They've definitely come out to the second half with the intent of picking the game up, spread it, get it to the wider channels.
Former Millfield School pupil and Bath Academy. Throwing the ball in now, Gabriel Ogre. Exit line out play, the wraparound move. Hardwick gets Loder. Grayson pops one over the top, but he's made the mistake. First real error from James Grayson, apart from potentially the high tackle that put him in the sin bin for 10 minutes.
And that was a good option, because the fast play to the wide channel, just watch here now, little fast interplay, getting into his hands. The fullback has to come up there. Logan Trotter, you see him. That leaves big space in the backfield at the blindside wing. Yawa was a bit slow in covering. And Ipitoy would have had a little run in.
Robbie Smith then. Played in Georgia last year for Scotland. This is second tournament. And that one was squint. He's been accurate up until that one, hasn't he?
Yeah. The line-up's been good. He's thrown in well. He's carried well. It's definitely not straight, but we don't want to see fewer players clap in at other players' errors. The values of rugby are about sportsmanship, camaraderie, and just get on with it. Next set piece.
Well, England have been finalists at over 5 consecutive years. Champions in 2013, 14 and 16. They were beaten in the final last year by New Zealand. Coach Bates said the challenge is always going to be one of improvement as we go through this tournament. Can they improve in the second half? Grayson spins out the tackle of Yawa. Hardwick got himself into a good position. Oliver Fella strong in the centre, but he was an offside has been pinged by Damien Murphy.
Yeah, the pace of the game is really asking questions of the Scots now. Oliver Fella's getting his hands on the ball. Grayson having to give penalties away, and England up the tempo. Steve Bates, an experienced coach, will no doubt have suggested that at half-time.
Here's where the penalty was given away. It was Scotland not pushing straight. You can see the Damon Murphy's hand just getting straight out. Advantage was being played. Oh, great. Finds his man in the middle. James Scott leaps high. Now England, can they drive against Scotland?
That's once, 9. That's once.
Scotland really punching. Ogre takes the ball up into the contact. Ball back into Ben White's hand. Hill delivers now. What can Grayson do? Loder tackled by Logan Trotter. Ibitoy goes in to protect the ball. Oh, good little hands there from Kieran Knight to release the ball.
Leave it. Thank you.
One channel out.
Big tacklers coming in.
Strip's fine.
Ross Dunbar, Marshall Sykes.
And Joe Hayes lost the ball in the contact there. England were really building their phase as well, but Hayes lost the ball. And it's Scotland who've got to come away with the ball through Ross Dunbar. Scotland under pressure. Thompson stepped back into the pocket.
Let's go, 9, please.
Gowling at the base. He opts to clear himself once again. And Scotland breathe easy because England are starting to turn the screw.
But they're not rolling over, are they? Look at that tackle technique coming in. A double tackle, a great rip coming up there. I think it was Finlay Richardson that tight there after Marshall Sykes put in a good low chop.
Yeah, sorry.
And they've got themselves out of trouble. Give credit to this Scotland pack. They defended the mauls.
Once again, James Scott leaps high.
That's once.
Into the
Six
air.
is fine. You've come to the middle.
Marshall Sykes grabs a jersey, but England really attacking Grayson. Puts the ball, Ibitoy. Oh, Trotter's missed a tackle once again. Oh, Ibitoy into the corner. The ref will want to look at it.
Timeout.
But for me, it looked good. And Ibitoy in for his second try.
But clear intent to just get it into Ben Loader and Gabriel Ibitoy's hands as early as possible.
All right, beautiful. Felipe, are you there, please?
Yes.
Going to check.
Try
Well, I
yes
suppose
or
we're
no.
150
Yes,
metres
try
away
yes
from
or
this
no.
try, and we couldn't see down that touchline, but England looking dangerous.
You can normally tell, Scott, from the reaction of the players, Gabriel Ibitoy is nearly on the halfway line. He's confident. He stays strong. Looks like a try.
Then I have a decision.
Yep.
You may award a try.
No, was a try. Okay. Thanks, mate.
So England score a second try through Ibitoy. That's 4 in total. That's the bonus point in the bag. Beautiful execution.
Credit Tom Hardwick and Will Butler. They've come out and they've pulled the strings. James Grayson has been passing the ball as quickly and accurately like this one. They just want to get into Ibitoy's hands early, and this is why. Shrugs off Logan Trotter, carries over 2 more Scotland defenders. And that's 2 fantastic tries in this game for the right winger from the Harlequins club.
2 tries from Ibitoy, 4 from England. And it's been, once again, stretching not only the Scotland defence, but stretching the lead over Scotland.
And but for Tom Hardwick's inaccurate boot, England would be clear, but Scotland now 12 points behind. What a try.
So the conversion was unsuccessful. But Ibitoy
Obstruction 4 white.
guilty
Obstruction
of
4 white.
crossing.
No.
Joe Kapuku
4 white obstruction.
got involved in obstructive the running angle of Gabriel Ibitoy.
Well, with bigger games to come, Scott, don't be surprised if Steve Bates decides to bring Tom Parton on and just give Gabriel Ibitoy an early shower. And potent weapon for this team. As things stand, if England carry on in this vein in this game, they'll end up #1 seeds.
Now 5 consecutive finals, so they'll be wanting to make it 6 on the trot.
No!
Scotland though, ball pops back into Gowling. Thompson has a little look.
No,
There's Thompson. Ball in hand. Now Scotland, what is their riposte going to be? Ewan Johnson.
advantage, 7 wide offside.
Alan Hinckley came in from an offside position on the Scotland skipper, but if Scotland get quick ball there's numbers out wide. Thompson, kick pass over the top. Oh, Spectacular take on that far side. Carl Rowe. Gowling, he decides to have a wee pop himself. He once represented England under 16, Scotland scrum half. Scotland go again, huge tackle comes in there from Hayes. Hayes is up for another tackle as Sykes takes it on for Scotland. England's solid, but it's Jupp who has a dig. Scotland are 5 metres from the line. Robbie Smith has a go.
The England front five is so heavy on these fringes. They can't get across, but referee Damon Murphy has given the penalty for the original infringement from Aaron Hinckley offside.
7 white offside.
What a brave take in the air from the cross kick from Ross Thompson.
What's that?
The tackle in the air.
It looked good to me, mate. Looked good to me.
In there.
This way. Hang on a second.
Ross Thompson's asking for the look of the tackle in the air. It was a lovely cross kick again.
In the air. Could you check it, please?
I don't need you to come on and referee the game, mate.
The touch judge was right there. I'm not sure it was. I think it was a pretty good contest in the air.
It's being checked, mate. I don't need you to referee the game as well.
You got any water?
But big, heavy tackles coming in from Joe Hayes, the replacement of England. It just goes to show the resolve. Here it is, it's Hardwick across. It looks like a fair compete in the air. Great catch coming in there.
Yeah, both players went up for the ball, didn't they? Tom Hardwick, Carl Rowe. Just looked awkward, but Thompson will have the penalty down at this side of the park. He'll kick for the corner, so Scotland have to get their line out operating well. They know they can drive England and put England under pressure. They'll want to close the gap once again.
Time back on.
So Carl Rowe restored to action. And Thompson for the corner. So part one is done.
Lines
Can Scotland complete part two?
Thank you.
That's the line out. And can they complete part three? That will be the drive for the line. Robbie Smith, he's played well, hasn't he? Scotland's captain. Generally accurate in the line out. Part one is done. The drive now on Scotland. Oh, look over the top once again is the massive frame of Joe Hayes causing trouble there. Finlay Richardson with ball in hand, and Scotland desperately trying to get some momentum into that drive. So Gowling delivers to Thompson. Thompson steps back in against heavy traffic. Gowling to Ewan Johnson. Johnson, who pulls himself off the deck once again. Gowling switches play. Thompson, little dink kick. There's too much on that one. The idea was right. The execution was just too heavy-handed as James Miller was hanging around on the outside.
Say that again.
It's a bit of a chance gone big, and Miller was in a bit of space. He just put too much on it there. Ross Thompson, of course, Scotland's only other try in this game was from a little dink through. They switched it back to the short side, put it onto his left foot. Just too much on it for the number 8.
Well, Sean, I was just wondering if the pass was on as well, but as Loader came up there to defend that channel, and Thompson, well, you can see the disappointment in the young fly half's face.
I credit England for the defence of that maul. Joe Hayes has been a nuisance in defence since he's come off the bench.
He certainly has, hasn't he? He's a big unit. So a replacement for Scotland's Murphy Walker comes on to replace Finlay Richardson. Scotland through Thompson. Thompson, well, he thought about his shape. The kick got caught on that 10-yard line. And now a penalty, and suddenly the white tide enveloped Scotland's young fly half.
Yeah, the indecision, the pressure coming up in his eye line on the outside, forced him back inside. It was a good tackle from Aaron Hinckley. And that man, Joe Hayes, is the +1 contesting the defensive ruck. It was enough to make referee. Just look at the pressure on the outside. Good tackle coming in I apologise, it's actually Kieran Knight, the other prop, coming in and being a nuisance. Tom Hardwick will want to really knock this over. He's missed 3 kicks here and hasn't got England clear. Steve Bates will want to be 3 scores clear at the moment. It's 12 points, and can Tom Hardwick redeem himself from a fully 40 metres?
His father Rob played for London Irish way back in 1996, and this young man Hardwick scored 17 points against France in the Six Nations, and he's just nailed a tremendous penalty.
Well, he didn't mess around. He teed it up, 2 steps back, 1 across, and boom, 40 metres straight through the middle. What a kick!
1 second, for the substitution. All right, mate, when you're time back on.
So Alex Seville comes on to the park. Kieran Knight is rested for the rest of the play, and Hardwick, who's been confident and assured all night, clears his lines.
Yeah, he's been very assured. Of course, Marcus Smith not in the 23 tonight. He'll come into the reckoning in the next match day. But Tom Hardwick has been pretty solid.
Yeah, just confirmation that England have replaced all their front row. So Ogre at hooker and the prop forwards Seville and Hayes now on the pitch. Scotland still competing strongly. Gowling onto this impressive blindside flanker for Scotland. Marshall Sykes. Thompson finding a bit of space here. Now pace down that outside Carl Rowe, but he was well marshalled on that far side by the imposing figure of Gabriel Ibitoy, who's got pace and presence on him.
Yeah, he did well there. The pass went over the top of Ibitoy, but he had enough gas about him to get back there and cover. Kyle Rowe is no slouch, that's for sure, as we saw in the first half when he finished off. A lovely chip through from Ross Thompson for Scotland's try, but Ibitoy has been one of the most impressive players on the field.
Well, this young lad here wearing the 16 jersey, he joined Wasps in the summer of 2017, and would you believe he won a Sevens Premiership medal with them in the Singer Sevens. So he can shift, this young boy.
All good?
Yeah, he can indeed.
Time back on.
A lot of strength in depth in this England squad, of course. Ben Curry's on the bench. He's been in and around the senior squad. Marcus Smith, they mentioned.
Hardwick step back just to allow himself the chance just to deliver the pass. Grayson knows where the space is through James Scott, but a forward pass.
Yeah, forward pass.
Picked up on the far side.
Well, I can't say it was clear and obvious to me, but the assistant referee is much closer than we are. Again, the intervention of James Grayson, he looks a real talent, doesn't he? Have that passing ability in the wide channels is a real bonus to Steve Bates.
Yeah, young Grayson's represented Northamptonshire at cricket. He's a good golfer as well, so hope he's beating his old man on the golf course.
But he's not half bad either.
Crouch!
Grayson, who played 10, played in the fly half position against Argentina.
We go again.
Lots of talking goes on in these scrums, Sean, doesn't it?
Stay down the scrum for me.
Yeah, it does. I'm not sure anyone really know what they're talking about, but one man has got the whistle and the authority. That's Damon Murphy, and a lot of it is trying to get some one-upmanship.
I'll hold back for you, mate. Second.
It's been a keenly contested area. The mauls have been keenly contested. It's just the finishing ability and the cutting edge that England have had.
Set!
Scotland and James Miller plays for Watsonians in the Premiership. Now, Yawa stays big, but the tackle is made by Grayson, but ball wasn't out, and from the left wing, Carl Rowe comes on to the right wing. So Scotland again playing with continuity, again playing with confidence. Guy Graham takes ball into the contact. Well, the error came in from Gowling. He's not made too many errors, this fella.
Time.
Scotland, those substitutions.
6 blue, 10 blue, substitutions.
So Guy Graham,
14 blue.
Marshall Sykes, my apologies, goes off on a Jaffe, comes on.
14
Ross
white.
Thompson goes off.
14 white
Callum
sub.
McLennan comes on, who's got a
14
tremendous
white.
individual try against Argentina, so he's an electric
14
player.
white sub.
So Ibitoy is rested. He scored 2 tries for England. Gabriel Ibitoy, and on in his place wearing the 22 jersey is Matt Williams.
All subs. Just hold, boys, hold. Subs.
Yeah, it looks like Oliver Fella is going to move to the wing. Matt Williams recently arrived. London Irish player is going to go into the centre.
All right. Time back on.
I need you here, I need you. Let's go.
Need you, Mark.
But as expected, Ibitoy, Steve Bates, giving him an early shower. They'll need him in the next round. What a performance from the Quins winger.
Crouch!
Don't see too many better individual tries than he scored tonight.
Yeah. Showing his power and pace, Ibitoy. Confirmation then of Matt Williams. London Irish contracted player. England demolished Scotland in that scrum. White thought about a quick one. Yes, he is going to take a quick one, but not from the point of where the penalty accrued.
He needs to take that from behind 8 feet. Scrum penalty, he took it 5 metres or so away. Can't have that advantage. Look at that drive coming through. Enormous.
You got rewarded, boys.
Had he gone there, it would have been okay.
Another Scotland substitution. Stafford McDowell.
Should be behind. 9? Got to be behind. Not with
So
me
we understand
behind.
that Stafford McDowell is going to come on for Logan Trotter.
Yep.
Yeah, Logan Trotter from Stirling County Club comes off. Logan Trotter.
Okay. Time back on.
Replaced by Stafford McDowell. He's the Scotland captain for this campaign. Played well in Scotland's campaign in Georgia last year, but England now cruising their way into the semi-finals. Grayson, well, ball was a little bit short there. Oliver Fella got a lovely balance about him as a rugby player.
He's had a good game. Obviously got played 13 wing, and here's England now really looking to spread it side to side.
Yeah, the confidence running through the veins of the England players as Will Butler takes ball up.
Back.
Oh, a little lack of concentration there from Tom Hardwick, but it went backwards to referee Murphy. Williams has a little dig there. Hard yards made, and
Leave it,
Ben
6,
White.
leave it. Offside, blue. Advantage.
Big take, isn't it, by Joe Hayes, but there's an offside, so advantage being played for England, so it's free ball for them to counter-attack.
Yeah, Ben Loader's been hungry for work too, as well as James Grayson.
Yeah, penalty back here first. Yeah, penalty back here first.
But you've got to give Scotland a lot of credit. They've been really spirited in their defence and attack. They maybe lack a little bit of cutting edge, but
20 blue.
they've been
Offside,
difficult
20
to
blue.
break down. James Miller's put a big shift in. Ewan Johnson in the mauls.
Time.
Ross Dunbar. You know, these guys have had a big
Penalty
game.
over there.
Robbie Smith, the
Again,
captain,
taking
who's
the player, pass the
cramping
ball,
up a
give
little
the
bit
edge.
now, as we
Just
see
have a
on the
check the voice.
screen.
Yeah, likely that
Eight's come through.
he'll get
hit me
replaced
late, and then
by
push it.
Finlay
I'll
Scott.
look for it. He'll get scanned, yeah.
Well, here's big Joe Hayes. He's had a big
that,
impact
sorry?
since he's come on.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
done well, hasn't he?
My
Both,
goodness.
both
isn't
in
it?
defence and carrying the
Yeah.
ball.
And of course the scrum that we saw, but there goes Robbie Smith.
Yeah, Robbie Smith off, and on comes Finn Scott. There's Finn Scott.
Offside,
Jed
blue.
Forest Club
20 blue
down in the
offside.
Scottish borders.
Just hold.
Had 2 starts
done.
against Argentina and Italy, so
Time back
this
on.
is his 3rd appearance in this competition.
20 blue offside.
And confirmation. One more change for Scotland. And Finn Hobbs is on. There's Finn Hobbs at the front of the line, and England throw to the back, getting their drive set up here. Joe Kapoko. Better play, but pinched by.
He's knocked on by blue.
Oh no, Jaffe, who knocked the ball on once he'd stolen the ball. Gowling in defensive chores. White took the ball on. There's White at the base. Now the kick pass on the far side. It's Oliver Feller. Ball is knocked, and Grayson comes up with the ball, but he spills it forward.
Knock on by White.
Well, you've got to admire these young players. They're trying everything. Crossfield kicks. Look at the pace with which Grayson takes this and then tries to offload, but he loses on the floor.
2. Time off. 5, 9, White. Substitutions.
New hooker, let's get through. New hooker, let's get through. Let's get through the new hooker, let's go. Through the new hooker,
So scrum half Rory Brand comes on for Ben White.
Nice and square.
Say it again.
Nice and square.
And Josh Basham
Let's go.
Who's captain now?
comes on for James Scott. There's James Scott, retires from the
Let's go. Let's go now, boys. We're going through. We're
Here's
going
your
through.
mark.
big smile there, isn't it?
Time back on.
For Rory Brand, one of the smallest players in the tournament. Scored a try against Argentina. Actually against Italy.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
So Charlie Gowling.
Straight down. Stop,
A lot of pressure coming into that front row. Murphy Walker.
Hard for me. Hard as well. Just keep shot.
Shout there between the two scrum halves, Charlie Gowling and Rory Brand.
Yeah, there's a bit of. I think they're sharing a little joke. And I'm not so sure the guys in the Scottish front row are sharing a joke. They've got their hands full with the New England front row. A lot of chit chat there.
Set!
On a Jaffe picks up from the back
Tackle
row
release now,
of
please.
Scotland. He was schooled in Dubai, played for the Dubai Exiles, and then came across
Let's go 9, use it please.
and joined the Northampton Saints from Star School. So, Jaffe already making a little bit of an impact. Good tackle by Rowe on the diminutive Rory Brand. Packs a big punch, does the replacement scrum half for England. I'm not frightened to mix things either. Oliver Feller.
Well, there's no need for this. It's been a good, clean game, keenly contested. Just a little bit of testosterone flying around, young men.
Step back.
And you've got to admire Scotland's ability to get out of trouble there. The big scrum, a good clearance, kick, a carry coming in from Mono Jaffe.
Step back. Step back.
Good follow-up, they win the penalty, and
Captain,
then
blue, captain. Captain.
tempers are afraid.
Gentlemen, had a good game so far. Remember why we're here? We're here to play rugby, not here to box. Okay? Have to have a chat to both teams. I don't want any more of that rubbish.
No problem.
Sort it out for me. Thank you.
So two new acting captains, I should say. Josh
Scrum your ball.
Basham and Stafford McDowell get their awards from Damon Murphy.
We're through again. Nice snap. Snap through him.
Time back on.
We had him last time. Let's go again.
It's a fair challenge coming in on the replacement scrum half. Kyle Rowe has had a decent game for Scotland, but somebody took exception.
Crouch.
Set up.
Bind.
Come on.
Well, Brian Redpath, when I spoke with him yesterday, he did have one eye on games 4 and 5, and with Scotland at the bottom of this pool, they will drop down into the relegation playoff places for teams 9 to 12. England, on the other hand, they will go through as #1 seeds as things stand through to the semi-finals of this World Rugby Under-20s Championship.
Yeah, it's just exactly where both teams are. And a lot of depth in the England squad, a lot of talent coming through.
No!
25-10, the scoreline in the favour of the England team. And strong, powerful play from England as they take the ball up. And England just trying to assert some ascendancy here through their #8, Tom Willis. Scotland have to pile in on the tackling stakes. Callum McClelland on a high tackle as the England player ducked below. Good little break here.
No!
First of all, Tom Willis, and Hardwick has to go in and play scrum half, and then Hill once again with another carry.
High tackle, Blue. You got a number? You want to check?
England just trying to put a bit of squeeze on Scotland now.
Time off, please. So, high tackle by Blue. Felipe, you want to have a check?
Check high tackle by Blue.
No worries.
Again, the intervention is for the high tackle. Something the officials are very keen on. England going very direct in that last attack. They showing a bit of respect for Scotland and the way that they've hung in this game as we see the incident. Now this will be a better angle on a Jaffe. He's just tripped up a little bit and
step back.
So he's just lost his foot in a little bit there. Don't see a lot in it, Scott.
Huh? I was thinking PK only, if anything.
See the replacement hook there. It's, I don't see too much in that one personally. I think we can.
Number 20, that one.
20, okay. And
he's tried to wrap
right,
both
thanks,
arms
mate. I'm
around
happy.
him.
So what I'm saying is
fine.
PK only.
Right down,
High
tackle.
Look.
There you go. That's the angle that probably convicts him.
Look, Damon.
Yep.
He's just dropped his knees. He's trying to get both arms around. And
these are all the angles.
I think it'll be too high, unfortunately. It's the right swinging arm.
We saw James Grayson get the yellow card. Similar sort of situation where he just made contact with the head. And it looks innocuous, but when you slow it down, and such is the situation that World Rugby and referees are trying to eliminate this type of tackle out. It's more and more prevalent within the game.
Neck, not a great amount of force. So what's your recommendation?
Yellow card.
Yellow card, 20 blue.
20 blue.
Okay, we talked about implications for coaching, Scott. I mean,
20 blue.
If we could coach young Devante on a Jaffe to sink his knees, tackle a low chop around the knees.
It's a high tackle with
prevent
contact
that.
with the neck. There's a minimal force.
Devante on a Jaffe. Of course, he's disappointed with that. But it's a zero tolerance now. Then that's why it's been refereed and administered in such a way.
Time back on.
And in our day, Sean, we would just get on with it. And, but it's part and parcel of this game. And well, we were just talking about it earlier enough at half-time there, weren't we? And you know, it might come lower, the tackle level down onto chest height.
Thank you.
Just encouraging coaching to sink lower and tackle around the legs.
No!
Rugby with the line-out throw for England. He's got the ball back at the back, and England now go for the drive. They're building the pressure on Scotland. That's the 5-metre line.
18 out.
England with momentum. Scotland trying their best to steady the England threat and drive.
Advantage collapsing.
Well, the try's been scored as Joe Kapoko goes over the top to score the try.
So Felipe, are you there, please?
Well, that's England going route one. That's them showing respect. The yellow card has happened. We're going direct to finish this game off.
And I just want to check collapsing of the maul first, and I just want to check if 4 white has been tackled before getting up and playing the ball.
Yeah.
It's an interesting call from referee Damon Murphy. He wants to get this right. The call is on England's number 4, Joel Kapuko. He's actually banged to Scotland players. But has he been tackled there before he gets
No, he's
up?
falling down. He's not tackled. He's falling down.
So, mate, what decision, mate? Award the try?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, mate.
5th try for England then
Time
confirmed
back on.
by Damon Murphy for the 2nd row. Joel Kapuko, he did well on the drive, didn't he? Brought down shot, got off on his knees and drove for the line.
Well, it's great that a lock forward. It's in the last 10 minutes of a game, has the presence of mind to get up. He probably knew exactly where the try line was. His chances of getting over the line, but look at the athleticism to get up, dive over. Almost Maro Itoje like, of course, a graduate of this championship for England. And now the Lions. And that sums up young Tom Hardwick's kick in tonight, and that's something Steve Bates will be looking at.
Yeah, Hardwick will be disappointed. Well, yeah, 38 graduates have come through from the under-22 to the full international team. Ben Young, the most captain, 76, and you got, well, Mario Toji, Owen Farrell amongst those who've gone on to represent England. For Scotland, last year Blair Kinghorn went through to be capped for Scotland in the Six Nations. Richie Gray, Finn Russell, Stuart Hogg, amongst others. So a great breeding ground for these youngsters to learn and ply their trade. 8 minutes in this game. Scotland looking to get some points back in it. They're going to fall out the pool without a win this year in France. Gowling was unlucky, wasn't he? Tripped on the surface as he tried to collect that ball from the line out. And Hardwick will just pop this one into the corner.
I mean, Brian Redpath, you've had a conversation with him this week. There's lots to be encouraged about with this young Scotland team.
Yeah, he knows he's not that far away. They lost in the last minute, having controlled the game for 75 minutes against Italy. They lost that one by 26 points to 25. They lost. Back to the action here in this match. England through Gabriel Ogre, finds his man. There he is at the back. And England trying to drive, but Scotland's response is good.
Twice now, use it, please.
So Rory Brand has to deliver to Hardwick. This angle of running has been good for England on this occasion. James Grayson cuts back into the Scotland defence. Not seen much today of Will Butler in the centre for England. This man, though, Olufella, seen plenty of him. As we have Gabriel Ogre, who gets around the pitch so well, the replacement hooker for England. Try scorer Kapuko, Hardwick. Men over here, it's just a run-in, is it? Good tackle came in. Williams goes for the line. Try for England, that's over. Matt Williams scores for England. And England starting to run away with this match.
Yeah, they've played with width. Kapuko managed to squeeze it out with the offload. Grayson saw the line, good cover tackle coming in.
Thanks, mate.
But he was able to free his arms, pop it up to the replacement, Matt Williams. And the London Irishman drove his legs with the help of his fellow replacement Rory Brand, the scrum half, and referee Damon Murphy, to his credit, who's had a good game tonight, was right on the spot. And can Tom Hardwick redeem himself from some of his missed kicks? 2 from 6.
Well, ironic boos from the French crowd as another kick is missed. Tom Hardwick. we've just had confirmation from the other pool involving New Zealand and Australia. 27 points to 18 for New Zealand. So as it stands, England will qualify in #1 spot for the semi-finals. Scotland, as I mentioned, will drop down into the relegation playoff zone between teams from 9 to position 12.
Well, it's been a workmanlike performance from Scotland, and with very little to show. And England have been very, very good when they've needed to. The statistics show that they've gained far more meters. The gain length success has been good. It hasn't been pretty at times, but they've certainly out in the second half got it in the wide channels to key players like Ibitoy, Oluwafela, James Grayson and Ben Loader.
Not got no advantage.
That's fine, boys, that's fine.
Scotland have been made to miss tackles from the runners, but you can see there 330 metres to 202. Scotland have made more carries, but they found it difficult to break through a very resolute white England wall of defence. You can see Scotland then have missed 16 tackles, got a little bit ragged, even though they haven't had to make as many as the England team. But a spirited performance nonetheless.
Bind! Set!
Well, England have pinched the scrum here, and Rory Brand directing operations at scrum half. England looking to put ball through in hand, looking for a 7th try. Oluwafela, that's the 22-metre line, he's brought down, so Brand goes in. Hardwick. Butler finds space outside in the shape of Seville. Back row involved as well through Ted Hill. Seville goes in to clear the bodies at the bottom, but the England have been penalised. Ted Hill holding on to the ball, not releasing in the contact. So the penalty goes against England. Clearance kick then by Scotland.
Thanks, mate.
So there's Stafford McDowell.
Stay 4.
He wants to hit the front. He's hitting the front. Let's go.
Finn Scott then at the hooking position. Well, England now dominating proceedings in set play as well, and explosive
Leave it! Leave it!
by Gabriel Ogre. Hardwick. Again, the passing is accurate. Butler will release to Williams, and then Oluwafela. Oluwafela throws the overhead pass, and can England get in?
Advantage, knock on
by Scotland, so it's an advantage being played as Aaron Hinckley takes the ball up now. Can England score a 7th try? They're going for the line. Can they jot the ball down?
Leave it!
Brand is digging at the base. Hardwick is outside. Hardwick delivers the pass. Oh, it's Grayson's put the ball down. There was men on the outside channel. And England just sloppy at the end. Into the last minute. It could have been a magnificent 7 for England. 7 tries. But that went to begging through that man there, James Grayson, who knocks the ball on. So disappointment for Grayson at the end. Scotland have fought gamely in this match. And try scorer Joel Kapoko just getting some treatment on his calf muscle there.
All good? Yeah. Only a minute to go.
So Kopoko returns to the action. And Charlie Jupp also getting some treatment.
All good?
Finn Scott wearing the head guard
Time
there.
back on.
So England have got some consolation back, having been beaten by Scotland in the Six Nations, but this is a totally different kettle of fish, playing rugby in the World Rugby Under-20s Championship.
Let's go 7 seconds.
England, as I mentioned, have won 3 of these titles in 2013, 14 and 16. And have reached 8 out of 10 finals since 2008, so plenty of experience, plenty of grounding here. McClellan doesn't find his touch. Ball was picked up at the back by James Grayson. Oh, good play there by number 8, James Miller. He's had a strong game for Scotland. South African born.
What's that?
And he plies his trade with Watsonians in Edinburgh, playing in the BT Premiership up there, and he was sharp over the top of the ball. So the last piece of action here, McClellan will go for the line-out, and there'll be time to take the line-out with the last play of the game. And Callum McClellan, tremendous solo effort of a try against Argentina. He has a rugby league background, signed from the Castleford Academy into Edinburgh Rugby, did young Callum McClellan. So plenty of bright spots for him in the future. Now Scotland, can they finish off strongly in the game? Drive comes in with Finn Scott in control at the back. Gowling, who's made his mark for Scotland, he's played very well the scrum half. Well, there was a nothing ball. Advantage was being played, so Scotland will want to just kick for the corner. Single try scored by Scotland tonight through Carl Rowe. McClellan kicks for the corner. And again, there's still an opportunity. Scotland fighting to the end, trying to take something into their next game in this World Rugby Under-20s Championship. Finn Scott with the line-out throw. Advantage being played.
Tackle play in the air.
So Scotland's Ewan Johnson was hauled down from that line-out. Penalty came and Scotland kicked for the touch once again.
Okay.
Are we on the line, sir?
Yes.
And once again, Finlay Scott then will throw to the line-out. Options are to Jubb. Jubb comes to the front, takes the ball well there. The young player from Heriots. Now the maul has been good for Scotland all day. They're in control as they take it over. Finn Scott has hands on the ball. They're driving for the line. There's the 5-metre line. Gowling gets his conversation going. Oh, the ball comes back there. Guy Graham with the initial drive, but over the top of the ball is Tom Willis, and delight for England as they secure the victory. They're through as the #1 seeds into the semi-final. They've scored 6 tries this evening against Scotland.
Boys, back 10, please. No,
they've been accurate, they've been strong. And the last play of the game then, through Tom Hardwick, who taps and kicks out. The final whistle goes, and confirmation of the score. England convincing winners by 35 points to 10. So applause all round for these two teams. Huge respect between these two competitive nations. But it's England who've come out trumps by 35 points to 10. Let's hear from Ben White, who's down with Sean Hawley.
Ben, congratulations, job done, your #1 seeds.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I think we put in a real good performance tonight. We knew how difficult Scotland would be going into the game. They showed real good heart and courage, and it's always a good fixture between the Scots. I think we really dug deep, and we showed you know what we can do.
I know you don't like to single out individuals, but a little word for winger Gabriel Ibitoy.
Yeah, you know, he's always top of the class, and you know he finished off some good team tries there.
And just what was said at half-time, he seemed to come out in the second half, throw the ball around a little bit, getting into Oliver Fella and Gabriel's hands really, really early.
Yeah, you know, it's something that we looked at in the week. You know, let's not be afraid to throw the ball around, even, you know, if it's a bit greasy in the hands. Let's really try and test ourselves and try and push the Scots to their limits. And I think we did that really well, especially coming out in the second half.
You got South Africa now in the semi-finals. What can you expect from them?
You know, they're a big physical side, but we're just going to focus on ourselves going into the game. Really work hard in training this week, do our work, and go into the game confident.
Ben, congratulations, well done.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
So that was the England skipper, Ben White, the scrum half, and well, we've got Sean Hawley down pitch side, and he's with the Scotland captain today, Robbie Smith, who'll be disappointed but also proud of the way his team has reacted to today's game.
Robbie, captain of Scotland, a brave performance, but just couldn't contend with the power England had in the end.
Yeah, disappointing after our first half. We're really in it. That's what we were saying in the changing rooms at half time. We were really in it. We were sticking it to them, and just came out and we just made too many errors. And against a team like that, they're going to punish you more. Too many mistakes.
You really went for England in the maul, and that was an area of the game that really worked for you.
Yep. Yeah. We talked all week about mauling against them. We mauled them against the Six Nations, and it worked out really well for us. But tonight they'd obviously done their homework, and they defended it really well, to be fair to them.
Lots of positives though to take for Scotland. What can we expect from your team now in the next round?
Yeah, we'll come back fighting. It's the beauty of this competition. We've got another game in 4 days' time to get it right. So we're going to come back and hopefully get as high a place finish as we can.
Robbie, thanks for joining us. Commiserations.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
So, Robbie Smith, disappointed, but England, of course, delighted. #1 seeds. So let's have a look at how Pool B finished off. 2 games down here in the confirmation of this final pool. Is England lead on 15 points with 3 bonus points. Italy next after their excellent win over Argentina earlier on this evening by 30 points to 26. Scotland, well, trailing at the bottom of the pool, and they'll go into the relegation zone for teams at 9th to 12th level. So confirmation of the semi-final will see England take on South Africa in Narbonne next Tuesday. And New Zealand will take on the hosts, France. That'll be an absolute cracker at the Stade Aim Giral at Perpignan. So we've been well entertained today. Final confirmation of the #1 seeds. England today beat Scotland by 35 points to 10. Hope you enjoyed all the action here from Bizia. More coming up next Tuesday at the World Rugby Under-20 Championships.
Yes, I've heard rumours.
tournée d'automne, la tournée d'été. Et bien on va parler de la tournée d'automne qui aura lieu au mois de novembre avec les matchs face à l'Afrique du Sud et au Fidji, au Stade de France, et l'Argentine au stade de Pierre Mauroy. Billetterie ouverte.
Move! That's once, what? Once.
Yeah, now we're going forward.
6 is fine, you've come to the middle.
Out, out, out! On the back!